This is another TNS video. Now, in case you are wondering, because I said before I'd upload 2 per week, that isn't, I'm not really sticking to that formula. Maybe I should do it 1 per week, but the reason that I haven't been sticking to it much is because, well, I'm just busy. I'm busy. Sometimes my day gets filled up with a lot more stuff than I expect there to be, and I run out of time to do two videos per week, for example. So I think I am going to change the formula to do only 1 video per week, which is, yes, going down a bit, but I want to make sure that I can stick to my schedule, because so far, as it is, I've been doing at least 1 video per week. I haven't been able to stick by 2, so I think I'll just make it. I think from this point on, I think I'll do it 1 per week. Let's just be honest, because that'll work for me. Right, so what is this TNS video about? As you are aware, probably not, this is the 4th TNS video in the series. I'm still thinking of making an end card for the video, so I can link the TNS playlists. Although I don't know if it's just going to be like a black screen or outro, or if I'm just going to tell YouTube to stick the you know how normally, like, you've got some thumbnails on the right side and the left side. I might just do that. I might not make a proper intro. I think I'll just put some recommended videos on the end, because that's what some people do, quite a lot of people, because it's a feature. Use it more. Yes, me, use it more. Right, what's this TNS video about then? It's about Super Mega Saber. Now, let's just get one thing clear. This one is a long boy, which means I won't be able to fit it all. Actually, that's the best we'll get it. Won't be able to fit it all in the same frame. This is how long it is. First impressions. Well, that's just the first impression. Let's have a look at some of the detail. Let's have a look at the details. Right. So we've got some paint on the front. Feels like there should be a bit more detail here, but whatever. Paint on the handle. Nicely textured, nicely done. We have, because this is like a cutlass theme, and although it wasn't referred to as a cutlass, hence the name Super Mega Saber. Very lazy, because they tried to skip around the idea of Power Rangers being pirates, because they couldn't have that. Anyway, handle, very nicely done. Bottom is again nicely done, nicely moulded. Battery compartments here in the side of the handle, so it's easily accessible. Button, we'll get onto that in a minute. We have the Super Megaforce logo here on both sides. On this side it's a speaker, hence the little slightly hollow bits. This side doesn't have any hollow bits, it has a screw in it though. On our switches right here, we've got a little key barrel thing. We'll get onto that in a minute. Nicely painted up sword part, and we've got a nice translucent cutlass blade here. There's some nice texturing on the actual blade, although you can't really see it. I think it's quite difficult to see in person actually. Can we get the light to... No, we can't. Trust me, it is textured. So now I think we should get onto the sounds. The lights and sounds, actually. There's a trigger on the handle, which you can press. So let's turn it on with the on-off switch. And it creates that noise. I don't know where that noise came from originally. I think it was I don't know, it might be a Power Rangers exclusive noise, because normally noises are derived from Sentai items. I do not recall hearing that noise anywhere. Anyway, you press the trigger, and the blade will light up one of 3 colours. And you will also get a slashing noise. I think that's all of them. Again, those noises are pretty loud, and the lights are pretty dim as well, especially the blue one. Green seems to be alright. Blue seems to be pretty dim. I think green and red are alright. blue is very dim. It's coming off as more bright on camera. The LEDs are actually inside. Well, yeah, they are. Of course they are. And now we have the... We get to the final attack. Or the... I don't know what it's called. You press the black button and the barrel will drop down. Like that. You can also move it down yourself like this. But then of course you want to do this. And in here you have a key slot. Now interestingly enough, this is the normal key slot just turned upside down. I wonder why they did that. Oh, I know why they did that. It's because the design wouldn't work. Anyway, you take your Ranger key. The Super Mega Saber came with the Super Mega Blue key, but I can't get that key at the moment. It's somewhere else. So instead, let's have the Dino Thunder Red key, which came with the Q-Rex Megazord. So yeah, Dino Thunder Red key. I'm just going to make a quick comment about the keys. They are nicely done. Despite the size, I mean, I'll do a size comparison for the Sentai one in a bit. But despite the size, I think they managed to do it quite well. Paint's alright, I think. They added some gold to the here and there. I don't know why they did that, because if you've seen Dino Thunder, you'll know there should be some white paint here, and there isn't. I don't know why they decided to leave that out. You've got a big old CE here, which looks a bit weird, but alright, you're not going to really see if it's on a stand or display. And a keyblade. You put the arms up and then you spring loaded. Nicely done. Of course, some of the ones in my collection, they won't stay all the way down, they'll just flick up. This is one of the few that actually stays in place. I don't know what's caused that. It might be the spring, I don't know. And of course, you've got a neat little QR code with the Ranger show, with the Ranger logo. Actually, no, it's the show logo, because if there's a name, because if there's a Ranger exclusive symbol, let's say like Service Knight, because he's got his own like little symbol. It's just the generic main symbol, so this is the main Dino Thunder symbol with a QR code. You could scan this with the app and you can get a little shooty slashy game where you beat a villain. And I don't know which, I think it might have been the car actually. I think it was locked to either Samurai, Megaforce or Super Megaforce. It wasn't that customized, but you do get a neat little custom finisher attack if you win at the game, obviously. And you also get like a render of the same character you scanned in, so and I think those are all lifted from Daiso, I think it was. So I mean, they did put some effort into it. I mean, why not? You can't fault them for that. Keyblade here, which I'm just going to clear up how these keyblades work. If you have the legendary morpher, these little big parts here, they will hit the really small thin pins, and these little small really thin parts, the empty spaces, will avoid pins. So there's a pin here, it avoids, I think. There's a pin here and there's a pin here, so those are all pins that they avoid. Now these bottom pins, they do nout. They've got no, they do nothing. Which we'll get onto how the Japanese keys work in a bit, but we'll show off how what this key does in the sword. It's the same key, it's the same finisher for each key. It doesn't matter which key you use. I'll explain why that's important in a minute when I get to the comparison between the Japanese version. You put the key in and it kind of springs around in there, don't know why. You push it in, you turn it, and you get like a finisher attack. And since there's some light effects that happen when you insert the key and when you turn the key, I'm just going to explain show off what that does. You get this charging noise when you turn the key. I think that's okay, but why a charging noise? I mean, you'd expect like a charging noise to be from like a gun. This is a sword. When you turn the key again, to take it out, you don't get any sort of sounds like you don't get any lights, but you do get some sounds. Now that is the normal deactivation noise from, I think most of the Gokaiger toys, along with some of the, along with most of the Super Megaforce toys. My only problem is that when you turn it to take it out, it feels a bit tight. It feels like you're going to snap the keyblade off, which is not a nice thing to have, because these are from something 2014. Good luck finding the same key on eBay. Flipping heck. You can put the key up into the slot, into here, like how you're supposed to. Although they do leave it out like this on a lot of promotional material. Now this will bother me for life because it's meant to be in like this. The reason why I think they don't show it like this, like how it's supposed to go, is because there's unlike the Japanese version, there is no sound that plays when you push it in. There's nothing there. There's meant to be a sound there, and there's not, and there's no sound. But I mean, that's okay. Now again, with the key in, you can press the trigger, and you will get the longest and flashiest combination loaded into this particular item. You also get a soundbite of Troy's voice.
Super Mega Saber!
Super Mega Saber. I feel like that noise is ripped from a Sentai toy, but I can't remember which one. Right, so that's everything from this toy. Now, before I get to the comparisons of the Japanese version, I'm just going to say now that when this deluxe Saber came out, there was also a basic Saber that came out. The basic Saber, I think, had a much shorter blade, which was more accurate to the Gokai Saber's blade. There was no key barrel function like this. You instead put the key in like this. Didn't really work, but alright. There was no lights, and the size was a lot smaller. I think that was it. Okay, now for the Japanese comparison. The Japanese Gokai Saber has a blade, like I said before, a blade that's not this big. The blade of the Gokai Saber is more close to the basic Super Mega Saber. Although I think maybe, I don't know, I was going to say that the Super Mega, not the Super Mega Saber, I was going to say that the Gokai Saber had like an extendable blade, but I don't think it does. I don't have that version, obviously. I'm not sure about paint again. I do know that there was a sound for when you pushed the barrel in like this, like I said before. I also know that the Gokai Saber didn't have lights in the sword. It had lights in here, in the logo. Because the idea was the bottom two keyblades, the ones that do nothing with the American version, which will take the Japanese key here and show you. The bottom key blades have some relevancy to the Japanese version, because when they are on the sword, or any of the Gokai weapons, they will tell the weapon what colour the key is, and then the lights will change to that colour. Let's say that I put like a red key in the Gokai Saber, the light will go red, so it can read the colour. So in other words, the Mobiritz knows what series they're from, and the weapons know what colour they are. That's clever. Now, let's do a comparison of the Ranger keys. Yeah, the Japanese keys are a lot bigger than the American keys, you can tell. It's like you've got an adult key and the kid key. Bit weird. Again, I don't have Abare Red. I only have Shinken Red to hand, and I don't have the Red Samurai key, but they're the same size, same functionality. Differences on the back, not much, aside from an additional screw and a much bigger and a bit darker of a grey of a keyblade. Put it into key mode won't be too difficult. Yeah, there is no spring in the little flip joint thing. It's just a hinge. They did rectify this in future key sets, where they added like a button under the arm where you could press it and it will go up by itself. Of course, when you've had the first released Japanese keys for a long time, the hinges will start to go loose, and you can flip them up a bit like that. But when you get them out of the box the first time, they will be stiff. Anywho, let's go on to the differences on these parts here. As you can see, the sticker is a lot big. a lot bigger. The detailing, like the black lines, are more, you know, they're more visible, other than just be covered by a QR code. And most importantly, that there is no QR code on the Japanese ones. It's just a symbol, a square with the series logo in it. There is no QR code because there was no QR code scanning function for the Gokaiger series. So that is it for this review. One closing final thing I will say before we finish up. I will say that buying new future items for reviews on secondhand stores like eBay, that has actually kicked off to a great flying start, because I managed to recently get this Wolfden Blaster from 2012's Tokyo Sentai Busters, but this is for another video. Spoiler for a future video. It's not going to be in the next couple, it's going to be a long way away into the future. I managed to get this from eBay. The next item I'm planning on getting from, I think it's eBay, Amazon, Japan, is the Gabu Revolver, which is the Dino Charge Morpher. Again, that means the Dino Charge Morpher review comparison will be a lot later. I haven't decided what the next TNS video will be. It's probably going to be an item that I don't have a comparison for. I'm going to figure that out later, but yeah. Gotta figure out a way to end these videos. Gotta figure out a oh god, that's my chair. I've got to figure out like an ending catchphrase. Do I say